11-5. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Don't really care what you celebrate. Tonight we're celebrating this Eagles defense. It is special. Birds beat the Bills in a thriller in Buffalo. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Welcome to episode 20 of Cheap Seats. I am Jay Sensi, joined by the man himself, Tyler Calvey, and another nail biter.
Wouldn't want it any other way.
I'd maybe want the offense to do some things differently in the second half, but we're going to get into that. This was a statement game. I didn't think we were going to win this game today. I think I would have been happy with a strong performance, even in a loss. But like I said last week, this was a morale game. If you can go in and beat the Bills with an MVP quarterback in Buffalo, getting hot at the right time, at least defensively and offensively in the first two quarters.
Yeah,
it's a little catch-22.
Yeah, but this has been the Eagles so far this year. It's the tale of two halves. You know, we come out, we look good either in the second half or the first half. The defense just looks good all the time to me. You know, they broke a little bit in the last 5 minutes of the game, but 4 consecutive 3-and-outs in the second half will do that to them. But this defense is special.
You think it's better than last year's? We're not getting as many sacks, although we had a lot of sacks in the Bills game. But statistically, throughout the season, not as many sacks. I think that's what we were kind of known for. I kind of think we're right there.
Yeah,
we're right there.
The biggest thing for me too is I don't think we get the amount of takeaways either.
That's fair.
I don't think missing CJ he was just a pick machine. I think he had 6+ picks both years he was with us. So that's a big miss. But yeah, the defense is hunting. The front four were all over the place. This is a good, test and gauge for what if we have to go to Chicago in the playoffs. You have a big, strong rocket quarterback. You know what I mean? You have a number one run offense, and they have a good defense. They're not as good as the Bears defense, but as far as our defense, though, it was a good matchup for us. I think if you could go up into Buffalo in the bad weather in December and pull off a win, I don't care how it looks. That's a win you're going to take.
No, and you hold a team that consistently scores 30, sometimes 40 points to 12 points. That's a win. Like I said last week, you can hold if this defense can hold teams to 20 points, we always have a shot at winning. The offense has to produce. I think the game would not have been as tight as it was if we could have done at least something in that second half. We got out with a win, but a little frustrating with the complete 180 that we do with the offense. And like you said, it's always we either come out hot, shit the bed in the second quarter, or kind of vice versa. But it's just frustrating because I think we could be so dangerous as a team if we could just do that for at least 3 quarters. Do it for 3. If you don't want to do it all, you can't do it for 4 quarters. Or it takes you a quarter to kind of get a slow start. But I feel like if we could reproduce that first half, even a little bit, we can be dangerous. What do you make of the change? First half, we're running the ball. We got some play action. We're going under center. We got those quick, nice little outs with Goddard that disappeared in the second half. Second half, we looked like we have been for the last 3 months, running the ball into the line, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9.
It's frustrating.
What do you think happened?
It's frustrating because early in that game, we threw the ball way more than I anticipated coming out in that weather. But to me, Jalen was having one of his best games. Yeah. They were putting him in good position, good situations with under center, play action pass, run, pass balance, mixing it up with play action pass on 1st and 2nd down from time to time, getting the ball out of his hands quicker. A couple screen plays early in that game. No design runs for Jalen. I don't know. It's really weird. Give me the conspiracy hat.
All right, let's go. You haven't had one in a few weeks. Might need some of the tequila today too after that one.
So my conspiracy is we saw the box score for the Carolina game, and we were just like, we did what we wanted to do. We moved the ball well in the first half. We got first downs. We got points. We shut down their offense. Let's just get out of here without Jalen being injured, and that was their main concern. Because in the second half, they took the ball completely out of his hands. They only allowed him to throw the ball on a few third and longs, full on. You knew it was a pass play. You put him in a bad situation. He still made a couple good throws that gave receivers a chance. But I just think like they just shut it down in the second half, because I can't imagine you watch that first half and how well the play calling was going, and then you get completely away from that and go shotgun again, running out of the shotgun. Dallas Goedert is your lead blocker in I formation on sweeps. I just didn't get that. I didn't understand it. So I'm saying Patullo, he's like, no, I got this. We're going to go back to vanilla. We're going to go back to predictable. But to me, it was frustrating because I thought Jalen was playing some of his best football in that first half. I thought the refs weren't giving us anything. I didn't like that no call on Jalen getting hit on the sidelines there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
On our sidelines too, where I didn't think they would allow that to happen. Maybe on the opposite side, you're a ref, you don't want to call a penalty. We're surrounded by, 50, giants, screaming at you. But it was on our sideline. They gave us the holding call that gave us the first down, but that 15-yard penalty would have helped a lot more. And I think it would have set the tone a little bit of like, you can't do that to our quarterback. I mean, he was clearly out of bounds. I can't believe they let that go. And then the A.J. Brown
holding his arm. There was a lot of questionable calls. And most of them went against us.
For sure. The Quinyon pass interference I thought was really ticky-tack. And then following that, they get a big play where their receiver did the exact same thing, put his hand in his shoulder pads and pushed off, and then got a big pass play that put them in good position to score. They didn't score, but it was a lot of like weird stuff. And then the catch, Devontae, not a catch.
But then their guy, I don't remember the receiver's name, but very similar situation. I think that was less of a catch than the Devontae catch. So
just weird. Yeah. It was weird. It was goofy, but I'm happy that we did what we had to do to win. But I would have loved if we put up 20 points in that game a little bit earlier. That game's way different going down the stretch. I think we're allowed to just cruise to a victory instead of having to sweat it out. But with that said, the defense amazing, and Jalen Carter. I'm sorry for the past couple of weeks. I was like, well, maybe we don't need him, but we needed him today.
That blocked extra point was huge,
and just his presence and pressure was just felt, and it helped everybody else get in rhythm. It got Josh Allen off his spot, so I loved it. This defense, this was a playoff game. This was another one of those, like, we kind of needed to win this one, and we needed to look good, and I think we looked good enough. But offensively, somebody's got to explain the second half game plan, because it became so predictable. Run first down, run second down, throw the ball on third and long, and sometimes hand the ball off on third and long. I don't know. That was some weird stuff too.
Yeah, it almost kind of felt like they thought 13 points was just going to be enough, and they were just going to mail it in. Because, I mean, the Carolina game was over by the time we kicked off.
Yeah.
So the worst we could have done was the number 3 seed, right? We're still playing for the 2 seed, which is possible. Carolina and Tampa Bay losing. Worst we can get is a 3 seed. So I think at that juncture, you either make the call and say, hey, this game is really meaningless. Let's not risk injury, or let's go and try to get that number 2 seed and see what Chicago does. But I mean, I get the take of maybe not wanting to put stuff on tape, but just do a little bit more, get a little more, like one extra field goal.
Yeah.
One extra field goal, and you're not sweating that entire game.
Yeah, I don't understand the complete 180 of the offense resorting back to. But here's also why you got to give credit to Jalen Hurts. You put a quarterback in that position, and I talked to Ned after the game, and he's like, I don't know, man, going 0 for 6 or 0 for 7 in the second half and rolling to your right and throwing it out of bounds every third down. That's a problem. That's a problem. And to me, that's the greatness of Jalen Hurts in a way too. Other quarterbacks would have been forcing the ball into bad positions, but you kind of had the feeling that as long as we don't put ourselves in a terrible deficit here, this defense will rise to the occasion. They will get the stop. They will get the turnover, whatever the case is. And they ended up doing it. But yeah, it would have been not even 3 points, not even a touchdown, but to 5 first downs in the second half. We had 1 first down on our opening drive of the second half, and we went 4 consecutive 3-and-outs. You cannot have that. I don't care what you're doing. But like I said, the play call completely changed.
Yep.
And here's where, as we go down the stretch here, the guy that is going to be the X factor, who is going to, and you'll always see when we're in these big games, the success of him is the success of the team. And that's Dallas Goedert. Is Dallas Goedert getting involved on first down? Like, I thought, where were the first down play action, quick passes to him? Let him catch the ball, get 5-6 yards. Now it's 2nd and 4, then you run it, and then you pick up 2 yards with Saquon. Now it's a manageable third down.
Yep.
Run first, run second. They were selling out to stop the run. I thought early in the game, I was a little like, whoa, that first drive, we stalled out in the first drive, but we went, 3 straight passes. I didn't hate it though, because I'm like, okay.
They expected the run.
They're selling out to stop the run. All they heard all week was, you're the worst run defense in football, and we got to stop Saquon.
Plus the rain.
Yeah.
Right? I would not have put money on them going out pass in the pouring rain.
Jalen threw the ball 22 times in the first half.
Wild.
So, but he was effective.
Yeah.
He was doing what he does. But also, Goddard was involved. We were hitting Smitty across. There was crossing routes. There was levels to be exposed. I just don't understand that second half. But like I said, that's the genius of Jalen Hurts too, man. He really doesn't care. Statistically, in the end, it doesn't matter because all he got was the dub. Which, another statistic, Josh Allen has never beaten the Eagles in his NFL career.
That's the only team he hasn't beaten.
Only team. And we're going to ride it out for at least a couple more years here, because I don't think we'll play them for a couple years, I don't think. But, yeah, man.
Unless they both get to the dance.
Well, if that's the case, I like that.
Yes.
I like that. I think in a non-rain soaked, I think we play much better. I think, there's a couple drop balls. I think that Smitty catches. He dropped that one jump ball. He dropped that one ball that was a catch but wasn't a catch.
Rain helped in some sense, though. Like, I'm actually really surprised that fumble was not called an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
And, hats off to Jahad Campbell for a heads-up play to just go down, and he didn't know.
No.
Right? Chances are, probably 9 times out of 10, that play is called incomplete.
For sure.
That hustle down and pushing the lineman out of the way to get that fumble was huge. Huge.
Rookie. Big
he had
play.
A couple good plays.
Yeah, he played.
A couple big plays.
He played really well. I thought they were going to go after him and expose him with getting him matched up on tight ends, which we didn't do, which was smart. We kept him clearly just focused on running backs out of the backfield, which he did a great job. There were a couple pass plays. But in the run game, that was his biggest criticism, is that he couldn't hold up in the run like Nakobe Dean does.
Right.
But, hey, man, right now we got 3 really, really good – Zach Bond played awesome too. Really good linebackers. Yeah. And that's a good problem to have.
There was, I think it was a second down, and there was a pass play that he defended. I think it was on Cooks, and he kind of dove and tipped it. And, those little things, man, to be able to do that from a linebacker position, especially as a rookie, I thought he had a hell of a game.
Yeah, man, this was a game. This was a nut up or shut up game for him as a player, and I loved it. And we'll see. Now after that game, a little bit, I feel like kind of depends how this Bears game plays out tonight, but I don't hate the idea of just saying, fuck it, we're locked in the 3. Sit everybody next week. Let's put together the best game plan we got moving forward, and drop this game, win this game, maybe with some backups. I don't know. The Commanders are beat up. They're pretty much playing with backups too, so it's a preseason game.
Yep.
But yeah, we get in the playoffs, man. All we got to do is win 4 in a row.
I mean, I like the way that we're trending in all aspects of the game, right? I mean, you can say what you want about the second half, but when push comes to shove and it's win or go home, I trust Jalen, and I trust Jalen to even make calls at the line if he's got to in specific situations. I expect him to run the ball more in the playoffs when it really means something. I think, they held him back, especially today in the rain. Even Josh Allen got banged up a little bit, moving around. And so I expect when he takes the gloves off in the playoffs, this team's ready. We're catching that fire at the right time.
And I always say this to people. Now, obviously the biggest glaring difference between this year and last year is Saquon hitting home runs all the time on people, 80-yard, 60-yard, 50-yard runs. But this is the offense as is. This is kind of what it was last year. There were times where it wasn't as functional. It didn't look great. But when we hit the playoffs, we got through the first 2 rounds, and then, we got onto some good playing surfaces. And we put together masterpieces. We put 55 on the Commanders, which was a good team, and then we put 40 on the Chiefs.
And they shut Saquon down.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we can do it without him. It'd be
100%.
nice to do it with him and have him hit a home run or 2, or at least get 120 yards.
I just kept thinking, he
is
so
due.
He is due for just a 50-yard bust run, man. But he
had a really good run today, and I think it was a Jalen audible at the line. I think it was it a 2nd and 1?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yep.
And Jalen changed the play, and Saquon had a great run up the middle.
Yep.
Maybe went for 15 or 20 yards. I think it was probably his longest run of the night. But that's what I expect in the playoffs. I expect a lot more adjustments. I expect a lot more aggressiveness. I expect a lot more Jalen running. And, the Bears, if they win tonight, I don't know what the score is. I could check. But the Bears win. We're locked into that 3. We got a rest game next week. I don't hate that.
No.
I don't hate that. It's probably having San Fran or L.A. come to town. So San Fran's up 28-21 right now. High-scoring game.
It'll be interesting. We'll see how this shakes out, and look at the injury report after today, see if anybody's has any bumps and bruises they need to take care of. But yeah, I don't mind locking into the 3 seed, and because here's the thing, the way we play, obviously we went on the road today.
Yep.
We've been on the road a lot this year, against tough teams. We went to Tampa. Did we go to Chiefs?
Yep.
2 Chiefs. To LA. Not the Rams. Not the Rams.
Oh,
the Chargers. We went 2 Chargers. Played, terrible, but still winnable.
Still almost won.
Right. And then, in this Bills game. So I don't hate. We go to Green Bay. We went to Green Bay. Won Green Bay when they had Micah. So this team is battle tested. People don't talk enough about how well they've handled this schedule. Because we come in here and sometimes we rag on them, and the offense doesn't look how we want it to look. Only because also we've seen the 55-point games. We've seen the Saquon masterpieces. We've seen the 40 points against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So we know what we're capable of. So when we kind of come out in the second half like we did, and 3 and out, it's frustrating, and I'm sure they're frustrated too. But with that said, we find ways to win. And we're blessed with a quarterback who really doesn't care about statistics. It's literally whatever you guys need me to do, as long as we can get a win out of this, I'll go 0 for 5, I'll go 0 for 6. I don't really care, whatever you guys need me to do. And I think as we go into these playoffs, he's going to become a bigger part of this. I think there's going to be a lot more runs. I think a lot of those read options he's going to pull, and he's going to be running down the sidelines for 40, 50 yards like he did last year in the playoffs. And I can't wait for it. I love this team. I love the toughness. We are a defensive team. And there's nothing better that suits Philly better than that.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I like our odds against anybody in the NFC. I don't think there's not one team in the playoffs in the NFC that I think we cannot go and handle business against. We just got to bring it.
The only team that really I wouldn't want to have to go to LA and play the Rams on turf. That's
fair.
That's the only like caveat. I mean, I hope Seattle can. I don't mind
I
going.
think the chances of them winning their division is slim, though.
Slim, yeah.
Because the Niners have the same. I don't know what their tiebreaker is.
Yeah.
But I think the Niners have the same record. Seattle's up one and has a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
On them. Seattle won today. Who the Rams have next week? Do they play Seattle?
I feel like they played Seattle twice.
You think they played them twice already?
I think so. They definitely played the Niners twice.
Let's check it out. But, I mean, I still think we can go there and win.
No, yeah, and we have. But
we can go there and win.
To me, though, with the way they play their offense and they're fast and, they spread you out and they have good quarterback play, I just think they would benefit a lot from, a clean surface and good weather compared to, like the Bears. Like, I don't mind going to the Bears, it being cold.
Right.
I'm cool with that. Like, we could win there in an ugly game.
Yep.
Like, very similar to
Remember
today.
the double doink?
The double doink. We've done it before. McNabb, the first playoff win that I remember as an Eagles fan that really sticks out was McNabb shaking
Soldier Field?
Brian Urlacher.
Yep.
It was the whole thing was, McNabb was from Chicago. He was going kind of a homecoming game for him. And I remember him shaking Brian Urlacher, I think also in that game, maybe that was the same year. Yeah, when Hugh Douglas power bombed their quarterback and broke his collarbone on a pick.
I love Hugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rams have Cardinals next week, so they're going to blow through those guys. But Seattle plays San Francisco. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah.
But it is most likely, unless the Bears drop the next 2 weeks and we sneak into that second seed, we are probably hosting somebody from the NFC West.
Yep. Let's go. Like I said, this is the Avengers Assemble moment. This is what we've waited for. Where we sat through all the Iron Man 1s, the Iron Man 2s. We sat through a couple fucking stinkers, some Guardians of the Galaxies, and all that fucking, I didn't love this one, but we're all here. The story makes fucking sense, and we're here. We're built to fucking win in tough, ugly playoff atmosphere games, and I'm fucking here for it. I wouldn't want it any other way. This is Rocky for whatever you want it to be. It just fucking crank the fucking soundtrack and come to Philly for the first playoff game, whoever it may be, and good fucking luck, because we're going to smack some motherfuckers around. That was the only thing that bothered me about this game, too. We had, our foot on their fucking head.
Yeah.
And, they were on the ropes. And offensively in the second half, we gave them too much life and allowed their defense to get fired up and allowed it to permeate into the offensive game.
Yep.
But, we held them scoreless for 3+ quarters.
Yep.
So I love it. I think the Bills are as battle-tested, too, as you can ask for. They're a come-behind type team. Playing there in December. They're 15-1 over the last whatever. They have the number 1 point differential over the last 5 years in the second half of any team. They're number 1 again this year. We're coming out in the second half and winning, which they did what they do. They shut us down, and then they scored points. But in the end, we just made enough plays. The defense played good, and
they were still playing for a lot too. They're still playing for a division.
Yeah.
Right? This could have been the last game in their stadium if they don't win the division. And if you're the Bills, you see Mahomes is sitting home, finally you've got a chance.
100%.
Your nemesis is gone this year. The window's open, and we're going to stand in the way. Fucking love it. Fucking fired up. Let's go. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
See you next week.
Go Birds, dickhead.
Please like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
Dickheads.
Fly, Eagles, fly. to victory.